Three injury-ridden players could potentially return as the Chiefs ramp up practice in preparation for the Buffalo Bills. Week 11 brings about one of Kansas City's toughest battles, which will have to be fought on enemy territory. The back-to-back Super Bowl champs talked all things Chiefs versus Bills on Wednesday. We bring you those interviews now. What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Happy Wednesday. I'm Hayley Lewis, and this is Chiefs News Daily. Positive updates surrounding players who have remained sidelined continue to pour in. We're going to bring you the latest updates, presser clips, and stories surrounding Chiefs Kingdom. First, give us a like and subscribe right here on the KCSN YouTube channel, and let's get into it. All right, good news coming out of One Arrowhead Drive today. Head coach Andy Reid confirmed reports that circulated yesterday. The Chiefs will open up running back Isaiah Pacheco and defensive end Charles Omenahue's practice windows, which means both players are designated to return. As for if they're going to play this coming Sunday...
Unlikely.
So fans are likely going to have to wait at least another week to see either player on game day, but still very positive news. The practice window opening today also means that they have cleared to practice, and they have the next 21 days to either be activated to the active roster or be placed on the season-ending IR. Now, Pacheco has been sidelined since early on in the season. He suffered a fibula injury in Week 2, while Omenahue hasn't even seen the field yet in the 2024 season. He tore his ACL in January's AFC Championship game, and he started the regular season on the PUP list. Other good news, all players will participate in practice on Wednesday. That includes Pacheco and Omenahue and Juju Smith-Schuster, who did not practice all last week due to his hamstring. So everyone might not be a full participant as they ramp up the work, but definitely a good sign for a team that was struck by the injury plague very early on in the season.
There's a good chance he's back. We'll see as we go through practice, but if it's up to him, he's back. Yeah.
All right, with those headlines out of the way, let's get to the pressers today. Head coach Andy Reid and quarterback Patrick Mahomes, as well as running back Kareem Hunt and wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, all stepped to the podium. So we kick things off with Big Red and QB1.
He's doing a great job with the ball. He's using everybody, and he's not forcing anything in there, obviously. So I think he's doing great with his decision making. Yeah, well, you've got good players on the other side that play against that left tackle, and when you're young, there's going to be a couple of hiccups in there. You just got to bear with it as they grow. Before Wanya got hurt, he was doing a nice job out there, but that thing, he had the bone bruise before, and then he tweaks it every once in a while. So it takes a minute to calm down, then he comes back in. But every week he's gotten a little bit better that he's been starting. So that's a positive going forward here. And he's not doing anything to hurt it worse. That's not what's going on. But these things are like a little bit like the high ankle sprain that way, where you bring them back and they tweak it, and they sit for a little bit, calms down, come back out, and they go. So different injury, but I mean it's with what he had. Yeah, so we threw him the ball a little bit more this past week. They were doing a good job inside, just kind of shutting off the run game part of it, and so we ended up getting him the ball. We like to get him the ball whatever way we can get him the ball because he's a good player. He's doing well for just coming off the couch. I mean, he's like second in the league for the number of games he's played on carries and yards. So I mean, he's doing a heck of a job, and he wants more. So he's not asking to come out now. That's not quite how he's wired, but he's doing well. He fell on his leg there. One of the guys fell on his leg and kind of tweaked it a little bit, but he's fine.
You're playing the best. I mean, the best of the best. That's what you want in this league. And I've been able to go up against Josh a multitude of times, and every single game it seems like it comes down to the very end. And he's a guy that competes, and he has that fire. I think you can see that fire that he plays with, and that kind of goes through his entire team. And a lot of guys have had a lot of success, and so we know it's going to take our best football. I think that's what we know, and if we don't, we're going to lose, and we've lost some, and we've won some. So I'm just hoping that this week we can get out there, play our best football, and find a way to get a win. We still stay in touch, I mean, especially in the off seasons, just kind of with both of our love for golf and just being around the people. And I know Shane Buechele, and he was here, and now he's there. And so he's a really good dude. I think that's why his team plays so hard for him. But, I mean, obviously we're both competitors, so in the season, not as much talking as we're both going for that ultimate goal, the Super Bowl. But at the same time, there's a ton of respect both ways. Because, I mean, I watched some Tennessee's tape, but at the same time, not having him here, you didn't know what to expect as far as the player on and off the field. And he gets in the room, and he's a leader from day one. He's teaching younger guys, he's helping younger guys in the room about stuff that he's learned. And then you get on the practice field, and you see how explosive he still is and how he can still make these plays. He can go one-on-one with the best of the best and win. And it was definitely a pleasant surprise for me just seeing him on that football field. And I think I can even give him more and more chances as it goes on because he seems like he's making plays every time I do. Yeah, I think you get a feel for how the defense is playing. You get a feel for how the whole game's going, the flow of the offense. And then you try to make the best decision on when to not and when to take chances. In certain games, you got to take some of those chances. You got to go out there and score some points. And I feel like I've done that at certain points this year. And then in certain games, the defense is kind of shutting the door. They're winning the game kind of for us. And I just have to execute in those big moments. And I think last week, if I executed on that throw to Travis or Xavier in that last drive, that would have been kind of reading the game the right way and getting us enough room for the win. And luckily for us, Leo makes a great play whenever I don't execute in that moment. But I've learned from playing a lot of games to kind of when are those big moments and when you need to go out there and make plays.
All right, now we check in with RB1, who shares what it is like to hit mid-season and overcome some of those bumps and bruises, and Hopkins, who talks about the Bills. It's a team he actually already played this season when he was with the Titans.
I think that's great, man. I'm happy for him, and I know he's excited to get back and get out there. I think it's gonna be a heck of a 1-2 punch. I think it could be very similar, man. I'm excited. I'm used to working with other great backs and stuff like that. So I feel like it's gonna be another great 1-2 punch.
Well, they beat us, so good defense, good players over there, good coaching staff. So we got to come out and play our A game. I've had players who's played here. My first cousin played here, Terrence Smith, a while ago, and he used to tell me how smart he was, how motivating he was as a player. I would say, man, everything I've heard about him has been true. Just how great he is as a player and as a person. I haven't been here that long, but Coach Reid has definitely pushed me as a player. He's always watching everything that you do, and you want to go out and be perfect. You'll never be perfect, but you want to try your best. There's a standard that he has, and you feel it in the locker room. And so, I understand when players say what you just said. I could definitely testify to that.
All right, we got a few more headlines to bring you today that you might have seen flying around social media. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce had their homes burglarized last month, according to police reports. Now, according to ABC, quote, 4 officers were dispatched to a home in Belton, Missouri, just after midnight on October 6th after a man called, quote, indicating a residence had been broken into, according to a report from the Cass County Sheriff's Office. Now, the police report does not mention Mahomes by name, but the address matches Mahomes' home from public records. Now, the report did not indicate whether anything was stolen. Then police in Leawood, Kansas are investigating a burglary the following day on October 7th at an address that matches where Kelce lives. The burglar arrived just after 7:30 p.m., caused $1,000 in damages to the back door, and he fled with $20,000 in cash, according to the police report. The crime was reported the very next day, according to a 911 call log and a police report. The timing means Kelce's home was broken into while the Chiefs were hosting the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football. Now, today during the press conferences, Mahomes was asked about it. He declined to comment as it is an ongoing investigation.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's frustrating, it's disappointing. I can't get into too many of the details because the investigation is still ongoing, but obviously something that you don't want to happen to really anybody, but obviously yourself. I can't speak too much about the details of everything just with the investigation going on, but I'm sure at some point that will be talked about.
As many Chiefs fans know, running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been battling PTSD as he opened up about his symptoms during Chiefs training camp before the 2024 season kicked off. Now, CEH recently made an appearance on the Pivot podcast hosted by Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor, and Channing Crowder. In a tweet, the account shared their interview with Clyde, saying, quote, "Two-time Super Bowl champion Clyde Edwards-Helaire opens up on his PTSD from a 2019 shooting that has kept the running back sidelined this NFL season, as he shares how instrumental head coach Andy Reid has been in his recovery, the unconditional support from the Chiefs organization, and how tight his bond with Travis Kelce keeps him grounded each day." I would highly encourage you guys to listen to this, as November is Men's Health Awareness Month. Clyde details his involvement in a shooting while attending college at LSU. All right, folks, that does it for another episode of Chiefs News Daily. As always, we'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, like and subscribe right here on the KCSN YouTube channel. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you here on Thursday.